Whose bedroom would you take if you lived in the Pittock Mansion?
I think the first bedroom we saw was actually the nicest. I thought Henry's would be the nicest. I think his was the smallest. We are going to Pittock Mansion today, and then, what's it called? The Witch's House?
That's what the Witch's Cottage.
The Witch's Cottage,
You hear it called in Portland.
Yeah, and that's the story behind it, but we know the actual story.
We know the truth.
We also picked up some new microphones from Best Buy, so hopefully the audio will be better once we get these going. Made it! Are you excited? Yeah. What are you most excited to learn about?
The people.
The people?
Yeah.
I don't really know much about this.
The reason is because I
I'm
really like ghosts.
You like ghosts? Okay.
I
Yeah.
like ghosty people.
I don't really know much about this, so I'm really excited.
I didn't even know this existed.
You know quite a bit, don't you?
I know.
Dad said I know what?
Well, it was like a... Wasn't it like the newspaper? The owner of the newspaper? That owner?
Yeah, that's right. Henry Pittock.
Henry Pittock.
He was the
Henry
owner,
Pittock.
the owner of the Oregonian.
The owner of the Oregonian.
Voiceover Betsy here, bringing you some history behind this mansion we're visiting today. This mansion was owned by Henry Pittock, who was a prominent citizen in Portland at the beginning of the 20th century. Funny enough, Henry found work as a typesetter at the Oregonian when he came to Portland. At the time, there was like 30 different newspapers that were all kind of jockeying to be the most important newspaper in Portland at the time.
Oh, his took off.
And they couldn't pay him his wages, so in lieu of back wages, they gave him ownership of the paper. That's a true story.
What a time to be alive.
You couldn't do anything back then. So Henry became the owner and editor and publisher of the Oregonian, which continues to publish newspapers to this day.
Oh, it's pretty crazy.
Pretty crazy. So he got old and rich and decided that to put a bow on his old richness, he would build a very fine house on top of a hill that overlooked Portland. And that's where we find ourselves today, at the Pittock Mansion. My personal favorite was the Turkish smoking room because the designs on the floor and ceiling and the colors were just breathtaking. What was your favorite? And the showers were crazy. The showers looked like out of some kind of futuristic magazine of some sort, straight out of the 1950s. The thing I think is probably the coolest thing about this house is Henry really wanted it to be like a feat of modern architecture. So it had in it things that were incredibly modern for the day it was built. For example, it had central heating. It had 7 fireplaces. Remember, it had 7 fireplaces, which were almost all decorative because it had oil furnaces in the house, keep the house warm. And it had all modern appliances in it. All the ovens and stuff were up to, like, super modern. it's a 501(c)(3),
That's not even the main.
which means it's a nonprofit. So every dollar you spend goes right back into helping maintain this piece of history.
That's awesome. And then we got our tickets through the library, right?
Yeah. One of the wonderful things about the library system in Oregon is you can get cultural passes through your library card. So you can visit museums and culturally significant places for free. I believe you can only get a certain amount of passes per month, and sometimes it's only for one ticket per library card. But they have a lot of options, and you can take your kids for free.
That's awesome.
Which is amazing.
Alright, we got done with the inside of the main mansion, the main attraction. What did you think?
It's so beautiful. They just don't build houses like that.
They don't. The detail was so intricate. The way certain details matched other details was so amazing.
It's just the level of craftsmanship. You have people who spent their entire lives
Be careful, Bubba.
mastering how to inlay floors perfectly or carve corbels perfectly out of sandstone. It's just amazing.
Yeah, they just don't do that anymore. I'm excited to see this extra house. I didn't realize we were going to see an extra house. Was it the Gate Lodge? Yeah, we're going to check it out. Yeah, you probably can't touch this stuff.
It sat empty for a while, and then there's a big storm, and the storm kind of like ruined it. And so at that point, there were talks about tearing it down, but then the city raised a bunch of money and they purchased the property and fixed it up, and now you can come visit it. Interesting is that you walk through the main house and it's incredibly fancy. Got gold and very fancy ornament everywhere, very lush blankets. And then you walk outside and across the road to where their steward lived, and it was much more simple.
Both pretty interesting people. There's a lot of, revisionist history when it comes to white settlement in this area, so you just have to be careful about whitewashing too much of it.
Yeah.
But as far as houses are concerned, he had excellent taste.
Yeah, like you said, the music room was pretty beautiful. Oddly enough, I really liked the, what do you call where they slept on the deck?
The sleeping balcony.
The sleeping balcony?
We should be bringing back. We should architecturally be bringing back the sleeping balcony.
Yeah.
I think.
Why not get some fresh air, especially if you're sick? Makes sense.
I like it.
What was your favorite room, Abby?
My favorite was the library one because there was just a lot of
Library was
stuff
cool.
in there that was like very telling of the story, and also it mentioned that one of the people who lived there had like 7 different puzzles in each room that were semi-completed.
That sounds like our house.
It does.
Yeah.
What was your favorite room? Did you say? I don't recall.
I think the music room. I think I like how big it was. All the like art and like the vases in there were insane. Absolutely. They had off to the right. There was like a vase and then a bowl and then another vase that like all went together. It looked so fancy. And then other than that, honestly, I think the sleeping porch. The sleeping porch was
You're
cool.
so simple.
Yeah, I thought it was really nice. I like the view out here, how you can see like the flowers and everything out here. It was it's still a nice view. And it just felt fresh. It just felt like there was a lot of fresh air in there.
Yeah, that was the point.
Yeah.
That was the point of the sleeping
It
balcony.
did feel like there was a lot of fresh air.
Whose bedroom would you take if you lived in the Pittock
I
Mansion?
think the first bedroom we saw was actually the nicest. I thought Henry's would be the nicest. I think his was the smallest,
He had
other
the
than
most modest bedroom.
other than the kids, like the little kids' room. But his was tiny. I thought his was going to be huge. I thought it was going to be like this grand, almost like the music room. I thought it was going to be a grand room looking off into the front
was
of the
obviously a pretty simple man.
Yeah.
He didn't have a whole lot. But Georgiana's room,
house. Like the pillars and everything.
yeah,
That was so
that would have been nice. That would have been a nice bedroom. I think if I had to pick one, I would have taken Kate's room.
Yeah.
Kate's suite was
It was
beautiful.
nice. What's up, buddy?
What do you think, Abby? What was your room?
I stayed in a room. I would stay in the nursery room because it was most like the white room or whatever. But it had shades.
Did you take lots of notes for your book?
Yes, you want to look at them?
I will look at them later.
Abby's going to write a book.
Abby's always writing books.
I'm
Yeah.
always writing books. Most of them are unfinished. Oh, look, I can find
Route.